Also have to keep in mind that Diddy has a lot of money, and they're going to want that money, and they're going to get that money out of him whether he wants them to or not. Also have to keep in mind that Diddy is famous, so if you were the dude who beat up, stabbed, or clapped Diddy's cheeks, that gives you a certain amount of clout in prison.
I want to know if it's in the prison records. They said one of the guards stopped a dude from shanking Diddy. I wonder what inmate was trying to shank him. Was that one of the Tupac? Was that one of the Tupac fans? Or that was one of the Biggie fans? That didn't leak. Everything leaks from prison, but that didn't leak. Nobody wrote home and said, yo, dudes is in here trying to stab Diddy up. But the lawyers mentioned that today. I want to see if they're going to investigate that right there.
An inmate from Fort Dix prison just dropped a bombshell, something he probably should have kept to himself. Leaked footage of Diddy behind bars, along with whispers that he's being targeted inside, is blowing up all over social media. Ever since 50 Cent's explosive documentary hit Netflix, fresh evidence and shocking testimonies have surfaced, connecting Diddy to some serious past crimes. In this video, we're diving deep into what's really happening to Diddy inside prison. Every detail, every rumor, and every twist that's got people talking. Plus, we're breaking down a brand new criminal investigation that just kicked off last week, and trust me, it's got everyone watching closely. And here's the craziest part. What you've seen so far is just the surface. The truth behind all this chaos runs way deeper and way darker. You might see Diddy smiling and looking all chill with people around him, but don't let that fool you. Behind that calm face, he's terrified. Over the past year, he's reportedly been attacked not once, not twice, but 3 separate times, each one coming dangerously close to ending badly.
So when you're at a prison and somebody says, you read any good books lately, Diddy is the answer.
He's the guy to go to because we got video of him at Fort Dix reporting for work in the library, where he is making recommendations and handing out different movies and books for his fellow inmates.
Whether he's locked up at the Metropolitan Detention Center in New York or over at Fort Dix in New Jersey, the situation's the same. There's a big red target on his back. Someone clearly wants to keep him in line, sending him a loud message to stay quiet and never drop any names. The tension inside those walls is real, and Diddy knows it. To really understand why things have gotten this intense, we have to go back to where it all started, what Diddy was first charged with. Back in September, when Diddy first got taken into custody, things got serious fast. Federal prosecutors hit him with major RICO charges. But here's the wild twist. Even though it was a RICO case, no one else got named. That's strange, right? It's pretty clear Diddy wasn't moving solo. And now it looks like some of those same people who once stood beside him are trying to keep him quiet by putting pressure on him from the shadows.
He was in the laundry room when he first got there.
Yeah,
this got to be
his first assignment.
This got to be a promotion.
Yeah. It feels like a promotion. It feels like maybe he tried the lunch room and put in a request for something different.
Yeah, it does believe it does sound like
mogul.
he used maybe possibly some connections to get a better job.
The truth is, Diddy never believed he'd actually see the inside of a prison cell. He thought that even if things went bad, his fame and deep pockets could buy him out. But this time, his influence didn't save him. Diddy wasn't just another media boss. He had real ties to some of the world's biggest names. People say he had connections with Bill Clinton, Barack Obama, Donald Trump, and even members of the British royal family. Those friendships run deep, maybe too deep. This whole thing didn't just kick off when Diddy got moved to Fort Dix. It's been brewing for a while. Multiple inmates have come forward saying Diddy couldn't stop name-dropping President Trump, even when he was locked up at MDC during his trial. He was out here acting like he still had some major pull with powerful people. But why would a convicted abuser be so confident about getting help from a sitting U.S. president? The connection between the two runs deeper than most people realize. Diddy really thought that old bond could save him when things got rough.
Well, that power play didn't go his way. After spending over a year behind bars, Diddy reportedly reached out to the White House begging for a presidential pardon, but Trump wasn't having it. He shut Diddy down completely, leaving him to face the music on his own.
Diddy is going to spend definitely 2+ years in a federal prison. I just want to lay this out right now. He is a target. because they talked about this in court. They said somebody tried to shank him already, and that he is a big target.
Yeah, that's straight from the president himself. Trump spoke to the New York Times on Wednesday, confirming that Diddy's request for a pardon came in the form of a letter. The exact details of that letter are still a mystery, but Trump made one thing crystal clear. He's got no plans to commute Diddy's sentence. He didn't give a reason why, but word is, he's been mulling over this decision for months. During Diddy's long and messy trial back in May, Trump even dropped a few hints to reporters, suggesting he wasn't too eager to step in. Then, just a month after Diddy's legal team filed an appeal against his conviction, the hammer dropped. The pardon was officially rejected. But here's where things get wild. Insiders claim that the real reason Trump turned down that pardon wasn't politics. It was 50 Cent. Yeah, you heard that right. 50 Cent keeps showing up in Diddy's story like a shadow that won't fade. Every single time Diddy thought he slipped past the consequences, 50 was right there, ready to make sure he didn't. When the first reports dropped that Diddy was planning to use his connection with President Trump to score a pardon, 50 wasted no time jumping in. The moment that news hit the streets, 50 made his move loud and public. And when that viral footage of Diddy behind bars started spreading online, 50 didn't hold back either. He went straight to Instagram, posted his reaction, and kept the spotlight burning hot. But let's be real, doesn't it seem a little suspicious how much energy 50 is putting in all this? He's not just trolling for clout anymore. Word is, he even put some of his money-making projects on hold just to personally reach out to alleged victims for his documentary. That's some serious dedication. This isn't just about petty beef. 50's making sure Diddy's trial stays front and center, with every shady move exposed for the world to see.
It's the media library in the chapel, which is where Diddy's currently working. He's working in a Life Connections program, which is an 18-month program that helps rehab people, get them closer to spirituality, to charity groups, and with that, it will shorten his sentence. But in this media library, he helps inmates with religious material, rent out movies, that kind of stuff. You see him pushing a...
The wild thing is, 50 Cent's spotlight and the hard-hitting evidence he dropped in his documentary are the only reasons the victims are finally starting to see some justice. Without that heat, a lot of this might have stayed buried. But Diddy's not taking it lightly. He's reportedly been pulling every trick in the book to get 50 to back off. And get this, just one day after 50's documentary on the crimes of Sean Combs aired, things took a strange turn. 50 claimed he got a bouquet of flowers from Diddy himself. He even posted it on Instagram, saying he knew exactly what message Diddy was trying to send with those flowers. That's some solid but dirty type of move. Meanwhile, back inside prison,
It takes a certain individual to prepare himself to do a lot of years in jail. From the lifestyle that he had, I'm not saying that he can't. I just don't see him able to do time behind bars.
things have only gotten more tense. According to court documents, Diddy was recently attacked and had to be saved by a corrections officer who stepped in just in time.
Allegedly, Diddy woke up one night with a knife pressed right to his throat, seconds away from getting seriously hurt. If it hadn't been for a nearby corrections officer who jumped in at the last second, things could have gone really bad. After that close call, word is Diddy started paying off certain inmates just to keep him safe inside. He knows the danger's real. Now here's where it gets even more intense. Gene Deal, Diddy's former bodyguard, who also used to work as a corrections officer, has come forward with his own inside take. He's seen firsthand how celebrities act when they're locked up, and he didn't hold back about Diddy's situation.
He is claiming that his throat was nearly in prison. According to Diddy, he was asleep in his cell and he woke up to a man standing over him with a shank at his throat. It's important to understand that this incident was not an attempted murder. If this person wanted to kill Diddy, he never even would have seen it coming until he was bleeding out of his throat. This was a warning, and this was a mark of things to come for Diddy.
Gene said something nobody expected. He claimed that Diddy might not make it if he has to stay behind bars for long. According to Gene, it's not always the gangs or rival inmates that break a person. It's the mental toll prison takes. He even warned that Diddy doesn't have the strength to handle that kind of pressure and might end up taking the easy way out if things get too heavy. Diddy's always played the tough guy in his music videos, but in real life, he's never really gotten his hands dirty. Now, behind bars, he's surrounded by people who've lived that life for real, and they're not the type to show mercy, especially to anyone accused of putting hands on women. The energy inside those walls is different, and Diddy's finding that out the hard way. Even former mafia figures like Michael Franzese and Sammy the Bull Gravano spoke out, saying that if the mob had known about the kind of things Diddy's being accused of doing, they would have handled him a long time ago. That says a lot.
Bro sent 50 some flowers at his hotel while he was in Miami, bro. Now, I ain't gonna show the address on these flowers, but 50 posted the whole address. Now, in the caption, he said, "What kind of gay shit is this? Diddy send me flowers at Club 11, LOL. LOL, why all the foreplay? Get busy, you know I'm stupid." Then he commented again and said, "A warning, I'm 90s grimy. You don't warn me, LOL." So y'all know why Diddy sent this. He ain't send it because he happy or proud of 50 for dropping this goddamn docuseries on his demon ass, bro.
The word going around is that this could be exactly why Diddy keeps getting targeted on the inside. He's in a world where reputations matter, and the people around him don't respect what he's accused of doing. The longer Diddy stays locked up, the more dangerous things are getting for him. His legal team's been working overtime, and on December 19th, they officially filed an appeal. They're pushing hard to get his 50-month sentence either cut down or completely wiped out. According to them, since the jury cleared Diddy on some of the heavier charges, his punishment doesn't match the verdict, and they believe he deserves a second chance. But here's the thing, Diddy's got more than just legal trouble. If he somehow manages to survive the next 12 months inside and fight off all the new cases stacking up against him, he might actually walk free. Still, that's a big if, because every day behind bars is a new risk. And just when you think the story couldn't twist further, boom, it does. Diddy's not only struggling in prison, his empire is starting to crumble too. A New York Times investigator recently uncovered that Diddy's been trying to sell his private jet, the same one he used to flex in his flashy videos. Now he's offloading it just to scrape together some extra cash. It's wild to think how fast things have flipped, from luxury flights to desperate moves for survival.
Immediate release from prison. This week, his attorneys urging a federal appeals court in New York to reverse his conviction on related charges or direct the judge to lighten his 4-year sentence.
Word going around is that Diddy's running out of money fast. Sources claim he's basically broke now and can't even afford to keep his $30 million private jet in the air. That same jet he once bragged about owning is now on the chopping block because he desperately needs the cash to cover his growing legal bills. And it looks like those bills are only getting bigger. The LA County Sheriff's Department just confirmed that a brand new criminal investigation into Diddy has officially been launched.
So Diddy is currently serving that 50-month prison sentence after being found guilty on those related charges over the summer. In their appeal filing, his lawyers now arguing the music mogul was treated harshly during sentencing by a federal judge who let evidence surrounding charges that he was actually found not guilty of actually then influence his punishment.
TMZ broke the story first, revealing that the investigation doesn't just focus on Diddy. It also allegedly involves Jonathan Hay, Rihanna's former publicist, and Biggie Small's son, CJ Wallace. That connection alone has people buzzing. According to reports, Jonathan Hay claimed that Diddy assaulted him after inviting him to a recording session, a claim that's now being looked into as part of this new case. And the crazy part? This isn't even the only investigation Diddy's facing right now. The storm around him just keeps growing louder. And just when it seems like things couldn't possibly get worse for Diddy, another case hits the headlines. Sources are saying federal agents are now teaming up with local authorities to dig even deeper into his past connections, from shady business deals to rumored payoffs meant to silence people. Every week, a new name gets dragged into the mess, and it's making Diddy's situation look even more explosive. People close to the case say investigators are tracking a money trail that could expose a whole web of corruption tied to Diddy's old empire. Some insiders are even whispering that a few of his former associates are flipping, turning over evidence to save themselves. If that's true, Diddy's circle might be collapsing from the inside out. At this point, the world's watching every move he makes. Between the chaos in prison, the lawsuits.
Now look, it's this Diddy thing. Look what he's saying now. Diddy been running around Fort Dix, bragging about Trump supposed to be pardoning him early next year. This is what he's telling the inmates. But I'm gonna tell you why he's telling them that. And I don't like it. See, Diddy think he's slick. See, Diddy know they on his ass. and he trying to figure out between washing clothes and all this other shit, trying to figure out how he can stay cool and stay protected.
Piling up and the investigation stacking higher by the day, Diddy's once untouchable image is falling apart fast, and there's no telling how much darker this story could get. Now, rumors are swirling that Diddy's empire might be gone for good. Major brands that once fought to work with him are quietly backing away, cutting ties before his name drags them down too. Sources say several of his business partners have already pulled out of deals worth millions, leaving Diddy scrambling to keep what's left of his fortune together. Even some of his closest friends in the industry are going silent. People who used to praise him are now acting like they barely know him. It's like everyone's trying to erase their connection before the next big headline drops. And it's not just about reputation anymore. The feds are reportedly freezing some of his assets while they dig into where all his money came from.
Following new developments in the case of the hip-hop mogul who is facing RICO charges in New York, Sean P. Diddy Combs, Court TV has just confirmed that the family of Tupac Shakur is investigating a potential link between the of Tupac and Sean Diddy Combs. This coming from attorney Alex Spiro, who represents Tupac's family. Now, this investigation had been previously reported by unnamed sources, but earlier today, Spiro confirmed to our Court TV team that he and a team of investigators has been hired.
Insiders claim Diddy's been calling up old allies, begging for help, but no one's answering. It's clear his empire's collapsing, his power's fading, and every move he makes only seems to pull him deeper into chaos. Now, whispers from inside the industry are saying that Diddy's finally realizing just how deep he's in. People close to him claim he's been acting paranoid, barely sleeping, constantly looking over his shoulder, and convinced that someone's out to get him. Guards at Fort Dick
have allegedly noticed how jumpy he's become, barely trusting anyone around him, not even his own legal team. Meanwhile, investigators keep stacking more evidence and is painting a darker picture than anyone expected. They're reportedly digging into old files, hidden payments, and mysterious disappearances that could all tie back to him. Every new discovery is making it harder for Diddy to fight back. And the craziest part? Some insiders are whispering that Diddy might be ready to make a move that shocks everyone, cutting a secret deal just to save himself.
In the event that Diddy gets convicted of sex trafficking and racketeering, that's what 50 Cent is sworn to do. And I gotta admit to you, that's wild. Damn, you know you got an enemy there when the man want to go out of his way to contact the president, and clearly he has some kind of inroads where he can get to President Trump so President Trump can hear him. He's basically saying, yo, brother need to go down.
If that's true, it could expose some powerful names and change everything. Now, word on the street is that Diddy's thinking about flipping the script completely. Insiders say he's feeling cornered and might start naming names to cut a deal with prosecutors. People in his inner circle are panicking because if Diddy talks, a lot of big names could go down with him. This isn't just about music anymore. This is about power, secrets, and loyalty being tested under pressure. Reports claim investigators have already hinted at a possible plea deal, but it would come at a heavy price. He'd have to expose everything he knows. From business partners to celebrity connections, nothing would stay hidden. And here's what's got everyone talking. The same people who once protected Diddy are now keeping their distance, afraid they'll be next on the chopping block. The empire that once looked unstoppable is crumbling, and Diddy's running out of options fast. One wrong move, and everything he's built could vanish overnight. 50 Cent's documentary just dropped a bomb that's shaking the entire industry. It revealed brand new evidence and witness testimony connected to the deaths of Tupac Shakur and Biggie Smalls. For the first time ever, statements directly tying Diddy to the crimes have been released. Proof that's got everyone talking and reopening old wounds that were never truly healed.
When you have cases this old, no matter what Fiddy has found out and put in this documentary, do you see it at all ever possible that Diddy could be involved in a trial when it comes to Biggie and Tupac?
It could be possible, yes. However, like I said, they need a lot of corroboration to make that stick because it's really alleged right now as to his involvement. It's not anything that's substantial or concrete that he was involved.
Tupac's family isn't staying quiet either. They've launched their own investigation and brought in powerhouse attorney Alex Spiro to dig deeper into the case. Tupac's brother, Reem Shakur, even came forward with a statement saying he's always been suspicious of Diddy and now believes the truth might finally come to light. Right now, the investigations are expanding fast, the pressure's closing in, and all those powerful names Diddy once thought would protect him, they're nowhere to be found. This story is getting darker by the day, and it's far from over. If you think this is the end, you're mistaken. Things are just heating up. Don't miss a single update. Like, subscribe, share, and drop a comment if you think 50 Cent's documentary finally exposed the truth. Stay locked in because the next reveal could change everything.